You're very welcome to the My Generation Gap podcast, where you have me, Stuart Vincent Moore, a 50-year-old Generation Xer, chatting with my niece, an 18-year-old Generation Zedder, Harriet Pilkington.
Yeah, we say Gen Z.
Gen Z.
I think so. I think most people say Gen Z rather than
Okay.
Generation Z.
So the generation gap between Gen Z and Gen X.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to have a chat about popular culture within our respective generations, looking at stuff from Gen X and Gen Z to see who wins.
Yeah, just wins in general.
Yeah, because that's how we should judge
Who's
most
generally
things.
better. Yeah, I think the whole society should just be based on who wins.
I find that it works well in my marriage, in all my relationships, friendships.
Yeah, just in general. In every aspect of life, you just have to win.
Yeah, shouldn't we be doing this together? No.
Yeah, no, I
Who
have to
wins?
win.
This week, we're looking at a film. It's currently winter, 2025.
Yeah.
It's extremely cold outside.
Freezing, it's snowing.
Proper icy.
Have you had much ice where you are in Nottingham?
We've had no snow here, but it's wild cold and icy.
We've had a lot of snow. Well, I say a lot, but any snow's a lot of snow in it nowadays.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, we've had a decent amount of snow here. It's been really icy everywhere.
Yes.
As well, really slippy. Did you just descend into like the heavens then?
No, I make that noise anytime I hear ice. I hear the word ice. I'm going to turn that phone.
You just turned into an ice cube.
It's true to form. Nobody ever calls me or wants to talk to me or sends me any messages until I'm recording something on a podcast, and then all of a sudden everybody wants to message me.
Yeah. Well, when I just started setting this up, I don't know if you know. Well, I know the listeners can't see this, but you can see I'm in the utility, and Dad was like, all right, I'm just going to make tea and I'm going to put this in the microwave, put this in the microwave, this in the microwave. Yeah. So he was just like walking behind me every 2 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, put the washing machine on.
Yeah, air fryer.
Oh, I just need to bash these pans.
Yeah, literally that's what it sounded like. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna test my saxophone. You don't have a saxophone? No, but this guy gave me one, and I'm just gonna try it out.
I'm just gonna try it and stand over here.
Yeah, just stand right next to me. Is this all right?
Yeah. It does seem that way though when you need to do something, like everybody makes as much noise as possible. My mum, she joined a work Zoom a few weeks ago, and I was in the living room with the dog, and I didn't realise they could hear me, and I was like, oh, you go baby, you know what I mean, like playing with him and everything really loudly, and there's just like the whole of my mum's work just listening to me go, oh, you go.
Well, do you know what? This is one of the good things about this podcast, because I can tell you stories about your mum.
Oh, yeah, that is great. I love stories about
you. Dear listener, Harriet's mum is my sister. And when we were kids, we had a dog called Razzle, because Razzle was the dog of Johnny Briggs. He was a Jack Russell. And if anybody ever knocked on the front door of the house, instead of Razzle going to bark at the front door at who was coming in, or any intruders, he'd come and find me and bite me.
Sorry.
Yeah, he really didn't like me at all.
Stuart, run! My grandma told us.
Ah! Stuart, look! And I was always looking myself in the bathroom. But this one day, your mum had taken him out for a walk.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd run off. And she managed to get him back in the house.
Yeah.
And she's like stood over him in the kitchen, like pointing her finger. And she must have been, I don't know, like 8, 9 years old.
I didn't know she was that young. I've heard this story. I thought she was like,
oh yeah,
or something.
No. You effing little, like every
swear word in there.
Every swear word and some really terrible ones as well. And of course, she looks up, and my dad sat there at the, the kitchen table, and she said, "It's all right. I won't tell you, Mum."
Yeah, we all know that Grandma's the one to fear.
Yeah, Grandma was the one to be afraid of.
Definitely, out of the two. Grandma tells me lots of stories. Like she once told you something about. Oh no, you used to scare my mum with the stairs. You used to pretend there was a boy under the stairs.
No, that's not true at all.
It's not that. Oh, she twisted it on you.
Yeah, That's not true. But they made me out to be some kind of...
I thought the story was, right, this is what I thought the story was. You used to tell my mum that there was somebody, like, I don't know, somebody under the stairs or a monster or whatever. And one day you were going up the stairs and my grandma stood under the stairs and pretended to be this. I don't know, I can't really remember the story very well. What's your version of it?
Right. It's not, don't say like it's my version of it. This is
Look,
the truth. This is what actually
truth.
happened.
Yeah. I've just got to take things up.
I was 11.
Yeah.
We'd just moved house into this new house.
Yeah.
We'd been there like 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was walking down the stairs.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I could feel the stairs vibrating behind me. Like somebody was walking down the stairs behind me. These footsteps were following me down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I was quite, as an 11-year-old, I was into...
Was it in the day or in the night?
It was in the daytime.
Oh, right.
But I was into ghost stories, and I was always reading ghost stories.
Right, so that's it then, yeah.
Yeah, and I was into the paranormal and things like that.
I have a feeling that I know why this story was twisted.
So I was like, oh, that was a bit weird. So I turned around, went up the stairs, and it did the same thing. And I came down again. I was like, Mum, come here.
At this point, yeah.
And she went, what's going on? And I told her what had happened, and she said, oh, well, go do it again. And I walked up the stairs, and the banging up, and these footsteps followed me up the stairs and down the stairs. And my mum said, it must be a ghost.
Oh,
like,
it was my mum in the cupboard.
No, yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yes, right.
So, yeah, but the thing is then my mum, your grandma, was saying to me, well, we should ask it some questions.
Yes, that was it, yeah.
So she said, ask it if it's a ghost. One not for yes,
one not
two
for yes,
no.
two for no, yeah. I remember
and basically, the whole question line was my mum, your grandma, feeding me questions to ask this ghost whether the ghost was happy with us as a family living in a house, and he said largely yes, but there was one person in the family that it hated and didn't want, and that was me. Yeah, and it was my sister hiding under the cupboard under the stairs and banging on the roof with a...
I do remember it now, actually. with the broomstick under the stairs. I think the reason I got confused, to be fair, I'm not sticking up for Grandma here because she may have well have twisted it to make it look like she'd done it for some sort of moral reason, other than to just be cruel like she is.
No, she just wanted to make a little child cry. So
anyway, Wicked.
Wicked is a film about... It's essentially a relationship between the Wicked Witch of the West, who is Elphaba, and Glinda, the Good Witch, how they come to meet, how they come to be, the relationship between them. Sort of a prequel to the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to seeing it, and I did enjoy it, but I'll tell you what I didn't like about it. Actually, there was one thing I really liked, because they've righted a wrong in there in terms of an Americanism that always annoys me, and they've corrected that in that film, so that won't happen again anymore in the whole of ever.
In the whole of the universe.
In the whole of the universe.
Nobody will ever get that wrong.
I like the film, but do you know what disappointed me was the music. I thought the songs were really dull. When you listen to the songs from The Wizard of Oz, they're all bangers.
They're all bangers.
Yeah.
Is that what you listen to on your nights out? It's just like The Wizard of Oz.
Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead.
I suppose it is like a night out.
Somewhere over... Well, The Wizard of Oz is like a night out because there's been many a night out in Wakefield that started off, black and white, a bit boring. And then you have a few vodka Red Bulls, and then there's a big tornado. Everything gets thrown up in the air.
Three strange men,
Three strange men talking flowers, fighting lions.
Flying monkeys.
Yeah. And then you wake up in your bed. And a little dog. You wake up in the bed the next morning with a little dog.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about a dog. I went to pick my dad up from the pub a few weeks back, and he was like, oh, can you drop my friend at a different pub, which is on the way home? And the pub on the way to the other pub was a petrol station. So this guy was quite drunk, so Dad was like, if we take him to this pub, he's nearer to his house. I was like, right, okay, I get you. So that's why I was giving him a lift. We goes past the petrol station. He says, oh, I just need to get some, I can't remember what it was, cigarettes probably.
Okay.
And he had his dog with him. And as he got out of the car to go in the petrol station, he just went, by the way, he's really bad. Don't touch him or like do anything. He's a really vicious dog. And then we were just sat in the car, me, mum and dad, with Chester the dog that none of us could touch or
where was the dog
to.
sat?
The dog was on the front seat next to me. So everybody was in the back and I was just in the front with Chester the dog that nobody could do anything. So we just sat in silence, in fear.
But did the dog was he sat still or was he?
He was just sat still looking at
Not
it.
growling or...
No, he looked fairly innocent, but he was like a medium-sized dog. Like, if he bit you, it would definitely hurt. So we were all kind of just sat in fear for like 5 minutes with Chester the dog in the car. It was definitely one of the most random experiences I've had.
Was Chester, he wasn't like rolling cigarettes up or something, doing like really wicked stuff.
Just smoking a blunt in the front seat.
Yeah.
Blinding down the window.
Flicking it out. Yeah.
Just turning the radio up. Drum and bass.
Yeah, putting gangster rap on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I'll tell you the Americanism that's been right. It's when Elphaba and Glinda first meet at the school shiz. They're talking and Glinda, or Galinda, as she's known then, says something. I think she's talking about Elphaba being green and she says, well, I could care less. And Elphaba corrects her and says, do you mean you couldn't care less? Because really, it's one of those things that I have an irrational hatred.
Anger, yeah.
Yeah, an irrational anger. Yeah, it makes me irrationally angry when people say, well, I could care less.
I know somebody who says, when I say something and they mean to say, me neither, they always say, me either. But now it's been too long that I can't tell them that it's wrong, but it really frustrates me. Yeah, it really frustrates me.
Oh, like somebody I know that always used to said, don't tie me with that same brush.
Don't tie me with that same brush.
Being tied with the same brush.
I'm tied with the same brush.
Yeah, so I like the film. Not so keen on the music. Looking forward to Wicked 2. Some of the names in the film are a bit weird. And I think some of them are a bit blatant. You know, when you first meet a character and you think, oh, they're really nice. I wonder if they are really nice. But they called her Madame Morrible.
Yeah. Madame Morrible.
This is Madame Morrible. Oh, yeah. And this is your other teacher's Miss Marrible.
Yeah. It sounds like something out of Horrid Henry.
Yeah.
Something they'd have in there.
Yeah. Professor Mother Mucker.
Yeah. Yeah, Mother Mucker, I like that one. I think you've not watched the theatre show of Wicked, have you? For the music wise.
No.
I think that Popular is better in the film, and I think that Defying Gravity is better in the theatre. But one thing I did find odd about the music in the film was in the theatre you can tell when they're going to sing because if they're mid-conversation they turn to the audience or they stand up out of their chair dramatically or something like that. They couldn't do that in the film, so when they just started singing out of nowhere, it would either make me jump or make me laugh because it was just really sudden.
And then there's the Glinda and Elphaba's love interest, isn't there? Fieri.
Yeah.
Who won't give any spoilers about what happens to him in Wicked 2, or who he turns out to be in The Wizard of Oz. But what I didn't know was that he's from Winkyland.
Winkyland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fab, innit?
Yeah.
That's like say, oh yeah, I'm from Tittyville. Yeah. like it's just, yeah.
Oh yeah, first day at school. Oh yeah. Yeah, where you from? Willie Town.
Yeah. I mean, you just wouldn't tell them, would you? You're gonna, I mean, if you're nervous about going to a new school, you wouldn't be saying anything like that.
Yeah. Where are you from? Scunthorpe.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be keeping that a secret.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So if we were going to pick a winner, I'd say Generation X wins this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I started watching The Wizard of Oz the other day and I had to turn it off because there was something about the fact that it's not immediately stimulating as a viewer. But I'm so used to like TikTok and things like that if somebody doesn't just scream at me from the off, then I'm not interested. If there isn't like a massive commotion at the start of it, I haven't got the patience to sit and wait 5 minutes for an intro. It's just like scroll on my TV.
I'm going to present you with some art and culture. What? I have to think for myself? Take this back.
I have to use my brain.
I have to work?
Yeah.
No. How dare you challenge me?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just a thing that I don't know. Yeah, I think there's so much like with TikTok and things like that. You scroll and it's as soon as you get bored, it's next, next, next. You can do that constantly. I could do it for hours. Do you know what I mean? That's like a movie in itself. They do this thing on TikTok where Gen Zs will know what I mean. They put like a clip from a film, like a really interesting part of a film, and they'll put like a 30-second clip on. But then they'll say, look for part 2 in my profile. And you do it. I don't know what it is about it, but you just do it. And you sit and watch an hour and a half of a film, but you're trying to find part 2, part 3. You're even looking up, like, you get really into it and you're like looking up part 5 and you can't find it. Then you're panicking.
Are you
You're like, I
watching
need
it
to
in
find
different
part
orders?
5.
Isn't that just like watching Memento?
Yeah, it's just like trying to find the right one.
Have you seen the film Memento?
I know what Memento's about. I haven't seen it, but doesn't he like tattoo himself and everything to try and... Yeah, well, I've watched it. Have you watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yes.
Yeah, that obviously is Pimento, and he gets lost and they call him Memento. So I kind of know from that what you meant, but I haven't watched it.
You should watch it. It's a good film.
Put it on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, as for Wicked, good film. As for the music, we were talking earlier, you what was the word you said? The very up-to-date word. How would you describe the music in Wicked?
Meh.
No, it wasn't meh. Meh was wrong. Meh
Was it?
is like more what you'd message. It was another word.
Oh, mid.
Mid. Yeah.
Mid.
Definitely mid. Yeah, check you out. Yeah, mid.
Mid.
Music, mid.
Yeah, and do you know what? Because I'd heard so many people say, oh, I watched Wicked and it made me cry so much at the end. And I cry all the time.
Just constantly.
Yeah, I cry.
I'm crying right now.
Yeah, cry when I sing that song, you know, DB Boulevard, Just Another Point of View. I cry when I'm singing to that in the car. I cry when I watch I cry when I watch the Olympics. I cry when I watch basically any TV film, listen to any music, anything. I think I was looking forward to a good cry at Wicked. And I think the music...
Cry in the dark.
Yeah, could cry in the dark. I do that a lot. We all sit in the dark, in our pads, eating jammy Dodgers, crying.
Yeah, it's very specific. In fact, that's what we're going to turn this podcast off and that's what we're going to go do.
That's what we're going to do next.
Yeah, we're in our pajamas by accident because Uncle Stuart said to me, he's like, oh, do you reckon we should do like videos? I was like, I'm in my pajamas. And he's like, yeah, me too. We're like, yeah, let's keep it into audio. Yeah,
well, it has gone past 7 o'clock.
It has.
I think The Wizard of Oz beats Wicked. I was disappointed. It didn't grasp me in terms of the music, but I did enjoy the film. I like the story, and I like its political nods, the way its commentary that it was making. I like that. I think lots of people could learn a thing or two.
Yep, I think it's a way of reaching the. Yeah, I think it's good at reaching the young audience to show.
Yes. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to start. This is going to be the first of our weekly features test.
Yep.
Right, test Harriet on whatever we've been watching or listening or doing.
Yep.
And this has got its own jingle to the tune of Paul McCartney's Jet.
Paul McCartney's Jet.
Yeah. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Test. Woo, woo, woo. Test. Woo, woo, woo. Question 1. What's the name of the city that the wizard lives in?
The wizard? Yeah, the Emerald City.
Emerald City.
I was so caught up in our conversation that we had about, what was it, Willie Town or whatever it was.
Is it
I was like, is it the same place?
Is it? Yeah. Is it Newfieldville?
Yeah, Emerald City. Final answer.
Mingeville.
Mingeville.
Nessa's dad is governor. It did make me laugh. Every time I saw Nessa, I did think she's going to stop in a wheelchair and go, oh, what's occurring?
Oh.
Nessa's dad is governor of where?
Now, at first, I thought he was the governor of the school.
No.
Is he not the governor of the school?
No.
Is it just like where they live?
Pretty much.
But I've forgotten what that's called.
Do you want a clue?
Yeah.
It's where the Munchkins come
Is
from.
it Munchkin City?
Oh, it's Munchkin Land. I'll give you that. There's going to be 5 questions. If you get all 5 right, the prize is 50p and a drink.
50p and a drink. Fab.
Where does Fieri come from?
Oh, that was what we just said. Is it? I'm sure it was Winky. What he says, Winky.
That will do. That's the word.
That'll do. Fab. That was the word you're looking for. Fab.
Where does Dorothy come from? This is a curveball because Dorothy's Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, Wizard of Oz. Dorothy comes from... Oh, I know it as well.
Because she says, Toto, I've got a feeling we're not in...
Kansas City,
anymore.
yeah.
And what snacks did I eat whilst watching Wicked?
Well, you mentioned Jammy Dodgers earlier, but I don't think Jammy Dodgers are a cinema snack.
Oh. Well, it was home streaming.
Oh, it was home streaming. Oh, if it's home streaming, then Jammy Dodgers. I'm gonna lock that answer in, I think.
Bobbins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Bobbins. I like Bobbins.
So you lose the quiz. You lose the test.
Oh, I lose the test. No 50p and a drink.
No, not this week.
No, we've briefly touched on the traitors when we first started speaking for the podcast.
I'm enjoying the traitors.
I am. I'm really enjoying the traitors. I really like Linda. I think she's terrible, but I hope that she kind of accidentally stumbles to the end somehow.
She's going to bumble away through it and just win it without even realising it. And when when she wins, they'll go, "Oh, well done for winning the traitors." Winning the what?
Yeah.
I was on
I thought this was pointless.
Yeah. I thought this was Butlins.
Yeah.
I thought I was on holiday.
Yeah.
I wonder why you kept on getting me to put stuff in boxes and do challenges.
Yeah, I applied for Deal or No Deal.
Yes.
Looking around for Noel Edmonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't I in the Scouts? It's an adventure holiday.
Yeah. I think not Armani. I think Mina is a very good traitor.
She's most excellent, and she's gonna win it. She's gonna stay traitor all the way through and just win it and do another Harry.
Yes, I was about to say she gives such Harry vibes. Have you watched the Traitors podcast with Ed Gamble?
I have. Yes.
Yeah, he talks very similarly opinion-wise to us about Harry and things like that. And they had Harry on there as well. They had Harry on the first podcast, and he was talking about the fact that he wants her to do the same thing, but in a way he wants to be the only traitor to win the game. Because I think in season 1, I didn't watch it, but I think the Faithfuls won in season 1.
I didn't watch season 1. I don't know. Did they?
I think the Faithfuls won.
What was really funny was watching this evening's episode of Uncloaked. The episode that we just watched is where there were in the opening episode, 3 people left jumped off the train. Yorkshire Jack, and I really liked him anyway.
I really wanted him to do it.
But he's like 6.5 foot, isn't he? He's really tall. Anyway, he sat on this sofa, sat next to Aisling B, and the sofa's obviously quite low to the floor, and he looks like a daddy long legs. He's like a spider. Because his knees are like up by his ears. He looks like a spider. Yeah.
What you meant earlier, you put in the traitors group chat. We have a family traitors group chat. You just put Jack looks like a spider, and I couldn't figure out what you meant, and I never read anything more than that.
It's like a daddy long legs.
I really like Jack.
I do. It was ever so nice on the.
He was so lovely. The conflict resolution guy, I'm not a massive fan of. Like, I think it was so funny when he went in there like, I'm a conflict resolution guy, and then he was the one who ended up getting off the bloody train. You know what I mean? Like, and he was like, so do you think we should flip a coin? And he was like, no.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, you showed
you showed the first sign of weakness. You're getting off, mate.
Yeah. But I thought his strategy about the shields was good, about the 3 people, and he was like, I'll give it to one of you 3.
Yeah.
That was a good strategy, I do admit, but I just think Linda's so funny. Like, when she turned at traitors, she might as well have just gone, here!
Yeah.
Like, yes,
traitors,
I am.
yes!
Yeah.
Put a round up. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just looked so unaware. But I don't know how, because they were on to Lynn as well. They were on to Linda. And then they just missed that. They just got onto other things. Do you think you'd be a good traitor?
No, absolutely not.
I think I'd giggle as soon as I was touched.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with the stress of it.
No, yeah, I think you'd throw up.
I think I'd be sick. Yeah,
yeah, I think you'd
and I'd be crying.
Constantly sick, and then you'd just fall asleep at the table.
Yeah, be sick and crying.
Yeah, I think as soon as...
What's the matter, Stuart? You've been watching the Olympics.
Eating jammy dodgers.
Yeah,
around the round table.
Yeah, if I walked in that room at the end, you know, when they got the envelope on the chair that they give to them when they've been murdered. Stuart, go in that room, and I've got a packet of jammy dodgers. I'm just in my pants.
Blanket,
with a blanket in my pants with a packet of jammy dodgers. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I think if I was a traitor, as soon as they touched my shoulder, I think that I'd just laugh uncontrollably. You know me, I think I'd just take a fit of laughing, and then it'd be game over from there.
I think I'd just go, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Do you think you'd be a good faithful?
I don't.
I think I'm a little bit too vocal to be a faithful. I think I'd either A, have a target on my back straight away, or B, end up being certain it's somebody that's not.
Well, I'm a people pleaser. That's my thing.
Yeah, you're very much like... Mum's very much like that. So, yeah, she does a lot of things. Like, she said to me, she was like, I'd have got off that train. I'd have been the first one getting off that train. She said, I wouldn't have gone back either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been in that cage up there. She's like, I would not have been doing that. Yeah.
Right. We'll call this a night.
Yeah.
Thank you, H. Thank you, dear listener, if you made it this far.
Yeah.
We'll put some stuff out on the socials, My Generation Gap. And you can contact us on, what's our email address, H?
mygenerationgap@gmail.com.
mygenerationgap@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Excellent. Love you. Bye.
So everyone done? Bye. Bye. Love you.
Thank you for listening to My Generation Gap podcast. You can contact us by emailing mygenerationgap@gmail.com or podcast production by Stuart Vincent Moore, music by Andy Dawson, artwork by Harriet Pilkington.